And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday Afternoon QSO-VLOG Network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net, should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO-VLOG network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO-VLOG net with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today, we're currently featuring over 1,650 QSO-VLOG Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running our 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy on our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on the selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of this selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations, QSA-5, to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this is an area of the band where we have many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our QSO-VLOG net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Charlie, got a copy? Yes, Jim, beautiful copy, a lot of static, Queen Roger net. You're running 8 to 10 over 9, direct, as I don't have an SAR capability at this end. So I'm copying you fine. It's partly cloudy, partly sunny. I just checked the temperature. It's between 69 and 70 out. I thought it was warmer, but it isn't. 69 and 70, and we have much warmer weather in sight. I have Captain Mike on a tape here that I recorded a couple of days ago as he flew from west to east, and starting, I believe, on 40 meters. If you're copying me, go ahead.
Yes, sir, Charlie. I've got you 20 over, but I do have some QRM lightning hits. Roger, roger.
I do have some QRM lightning hits. Roger, roger. Okay, are you copying well enough for me to play?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. No, here's Captain Mike. I hope.
Sorry, you still got both issues going on.
Okay, here we go.
Well, Charlie, we're about 40 miles directly south of Cleveland right now, Charlie, at 37,000 at 510 knots here. Got a little bit of a crosswind, quartering tailwind, about 83 knots on the quarter. Well, we're showing 205 into Philly. About an hour or so. E1 Diesel, KX4 Whiskey Charlie, and you are 5 plus. All right, Charlie, 40 meters on the upper side there. Minus 57 up here, Charlie. Got the top, but we're showing approach. We're going to come right over Pittsburgh. It's too bad, Mike. We're showing 50 miles right now, west-northwest of Pittsburgh. But I'm kind of lost track of all the things you guys were doing because I was off and on the radio. But now, were you able to figure out what you did to get rid of that carrier that carrier sound you were getting before? You were having before? Were you? Let me do work for Boeing and satellite systems around the world. So between FET and I think you'll be able to troubleshoot the issue and solve the problem there. I don't believe in coincidences. I just wonder if.
Okay, now I've got it. I think on the tarmac in Philadelphia, right on the field. I hope.
Johnstown here at the moment.
Oh, Johnstown.
We're sending out of 33,000 for 1,000 at the moment, beginning our initial descent into Philadelphia. It's a great copy on you there, Jim. WA3 FET KX4 with Charlie. WA3 FET. Very good, Captain Mike. Yeah, I'm just running barefoot here.
Okay.
On the ramp here facing north.
Okay, we're on the ramp here.
So we're on the ramp here facing north, and let's see, we're in upper sideband on 40 meters there, Charlie.
Okay, Mike, I'm sorry at the beginning of that broke up. I had a bad connection, but anyway, that was Captain Mike strictly on 40 on that one. I worked him earlier on 20, and I picked him up over Cheyenne, Wyoming, and worked him across parts of Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, and then we switched over to 40 meters on upper sideband, KX4, KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Got most of that. Like I said, we did have some lightning impulse noise. And speaking of impulse noise, how is your impulse noise coming? Have you got that corrected yet?
Impulse noise coming. Have you got that corrected yet? That problem is a little bit there. I think they've gotten most of it. They have cleared up most of it, but they've got more to go. I did get this call from a lady down in southern New Hampshire, and she is in charge of the entire state of New Hampshire as far as interference goes on their line, that their lines are picking up over the entire state. And she said she will continue to work on that with the crews in various spots around here until it is cleared up. Jim, go ahead.
Oh, that's great. And that's really what it takes. One person in charge of the whole bailiwick to be sure that nothing falls between the cracks, Roger?
To be sure that nothing falls between the cracks, Roger? Oh, yeah. You get too much diversification, and everybody is everywhere else, and they're not coming together. But they've got that pretty well coordinated, and we're not, I'll have to give them a great credit. Eversource, of course, our electrical supplier up here, for most of the state. It's wonderful what they're trying to do, because after all, they have to feed a lot of people, and the line that goes by here feeds Pittsburgh. That is the most northern town in New Hampshire, and I think in the wintertime there's still around 6,000 people there, but in the summer with visitors, they must be close to, I'm only guessing on this, about 5,000, whereas we're somewhere around 300 people here in Clarksville, but the darn line goes right by my place. 300 feet from where I'm sitting is the line to Pittsburgh. So anything happens and breaks down, it could affect a lot of people. Jim, go ahead.
Roger. Well, you may have to come up with a loop antenna there just to reject some of that impulse noise, Roger.
Well, that's what I'm transmitting on is loop antennas, the quad, but I can't rotate it. That's the problem. I can't rotate it. But they got rid of, I would say, 70 to 80% of it. There's still a little bit of it. However, when it's raining, it's gone. It's gone when it rains. When it's wet, it's there. It is there and highly annoying. And so they're addressing this. But of course they have to serve the entire state. So they're not up here every day. But I'll have to tell you, they're doing the best they can, and the best as they can with the equipment that they have. So they're really doing a good job. Back to you, Jim, and then we'll try to catch you next Friday, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Well, I wish you luck on them being able to track it all down. I know that's a big order, but there's a lot of, there's probably thousands and thousands of insulators, that are becoming problematical, and they have to solve that problem one by one, but I hope they do. So 73, Charlie, you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger.
73, Charlie, you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger. Okay, I hear a bunch of people way in the background trying to break you there. So 73, Tim, you went down a little signal, but there's still a good copy here. Problematical, and solve that problem one by one, but I hope they do. So 73, Charlie, you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger. Okay, 73, Tim, hopefully catch you next Friday. 1G said, oh, we are clear.
Roger, Charlie, 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. My name is Jim, and I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout, and we'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 6/4/21, and that will take you directly to this recording. If you just go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV by itself, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we're now featuring about 1,650 recorded QSO-VLOGs. So this is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
We have all 4 of our internet SDR receivers up at the moment. We have Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, and Georgia SDRs up and listening for you, along with my local antenna. We're located just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
And we do have some lightning up towards North Country, up around Pennsylvania and New York somewhere. We do have a fairly good lightning storm up that way, but you might be able to get through anyway. Give her a shot there if you've been. There's a lot of folks that have been waiting to try to join us there, and it is because that, well, maybe their antenna system may not be quite what would be desired. We had a piece that we wrote that said, all things considered, if you are an S1 everywhere, you're not getting out. And my thought was that if you're running 100 watts on the eastern side of the United States, you should be an S5 to S9 somewhere. You should be, an S5 to an S9 somewhere. If you're an S1 everywhere, you are not getting out, and you're running a dummy load for an antenna. You might check out the antenna that we're running. It's a resonant half-wave dipole antenna, tuned dipole antenna. They work very, very efficiently. Anyway, this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. Again, if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
And if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
We are running our 4 internet SDR receivers. I'm not copying anything at the moment, so if you've been trying to get through, give her a shout there. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net, standing by. Did copy somebody up around New York, a very weak station up around New York. Station, try her again, please. I do copy a couple of stations. I think it's 2 stations back in there, but they're very weak. They are just at my noise level, right at my noise level. But, you know, conditions may vary and go in our favor here in the short. So try again, please. This is KC9VKV listening.
This is KC9VKV listening.
Yeah, I copy some station way in the background there, but it's actually under my noise level. Not even equal to my noise level. It's slightly under my noise level, so it's going to be real difficult.
Difficult.
Anybody else out there that wants to get a recording of their radio check, and maybe be interested in our setup procedures? KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net.
KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net.
Well, now this would be something to consider if you're trying to reach me on the QSO-VLOG net. I'm running 4 internet SDR receivers around Arlington, Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, and Georgia, plus my local antenna near Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm not copying anything. So if you're trying to reach me at this moment, you might seriously consider trying a new antenna. I mean, you know, I've got these 4 internet SDR receivers spread out across the eastern portion of the United States, plus my own, and I'm not copying you at all. So I would seriously consider changing my antenna system, and I suggest maybe a half-wave tuned dipole antenna. Might be more efficient for you. And then also a dipole antenna is directional in that it radiates broadside to the elements of the dipole. So depending on how you string the dipole will be dependent on how you radiate your signal. It corresponds directly to the broadside of the elements fairly much. So if you want to go north and south, you orient your antenna east and west, and opposite the other way. It then makes for an antenna that has directional characteristics to it, which is so difficult to have on HF antennas because of the wavelength. But a dipole antenna does give you that possibility. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. That's Kilo Juliet 4, Charlie, over.
I copy Kilo Juliet 4. Station, come back slowly with your call sign phonetically again, please.
Come back slowly with your call sign phonetically again, please. Charlie, over.
That's 4 Charlie, Charlie, Roger.
That's 4 Charlie, Charlie, Roger.
4 Charlie, Charlie.
Roger, what's the name there, please?
Roger, what's the name there, please?
Bravo, Echo, November,
Right now, I'm working Kilo Juliet 4 Charlie Charlie. Charlie, what's your location, please?
Juliet 4 Charlie Charlie. Charlie, what's your location, please?
I am in North Alabama.
Yes, sir. Copy, Alabama. And what's the name there, please?
Yes, sir. Copy, Alabama. And what's the name there, please?
Try it one more time. I have a lightning storm that's fairly aggressive. Try one more time on the name, please.
Storm that's fairly aggressive. Try one more time on the name, please.
Okay, Ben.
Roger, Roger. I copy Ben. Is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger. I copy Ben. Is that a Roger?
Okay, Ben, and what radio are we running today, sir? What radio are you running?
Okay, Ben, and what radio are we running today, sir? What radio are you running?
I am on a KW2 running about 100 watts.
All right, tell you what, let's try this. Ben, if you would, give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and I'll look around and see if I can find a better path for us. Roger?
And I'll look around and see if I can find a better path for us. Roger?
Okay, Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Ben, I copied Roger, Roger, and then I didn't hear anything further. Did you give me about 10 seconds there?
Anything further? Did you give me about 10 seconds there?
Real problem with fading. You're in and out.
Roger, Ben, I understand we've got some fading going on. I understand we do have some fading going on. Would you be interested in the setup procedure for your radio? Are you interested in the setup procedure for your radio?
Your radio. Are you interested in the setup procedure for your radio?
Roger, Roger. I'm assuming you said no. And the signal strength, again, you're about a dB above my noise level. From a half a dB to a dB above my noise level, I'm copying you mostly on the Milford Internet SDR receiver. But if you would like to hear what you're sounding like as best we can, and unfortunately we don't have the best propagation, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 6/4/21, that will take you directly to this recording. Roger, Roger?
That would take you directly to this recording. Roger, Roger?
Okay, 70, I got that. And thank you anyway.
Roger, Roger. Ben, before you go, again, repeat your radio. Repeat the radio that you're running.
And repeat your radio. Repeat the radio that you're running.
You got to AWM. What was the their numbers there after that?
WM. What was the numbers there after that?
-1
AWM2. Roger, Roger.
Collins, KWM2-1. Roger.
Roger, Roger.
Roger, sir. Okay, have a good day, sir. And you, gosh, if you get a chance, maybe join us next Friday when we'll have, hopefully, better propagation and, be able to copy the mail a little bit. There's another station in there, other station. This is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
There's another station in there, other station. This is KC9VKV. Do you copy?
November Alpha 3 Papa and a 3P. Kilo Bravo 3 Delta Alpha.
It's November Alpha 3 Papa, Roger.
This is November Alpha 2 Papa, Roger.
Yeah, how's it going? This is November Alpha 3 Papa. Before, so just wanted to say hello. 05, ICOM 705, driving a small 100-watt amp, the Zygu XPA 125B, using the stock hand mic. Nothing fancy here.
Roger, what's the name there, please?
Yeah, this is Dick, Delta Indy Charlie Kilo in Culpeper, Virginia. Dick in Culpeper, Virginia, over.
Roger, Dick, I've got you on my local antenna about 6 or 7 over, so you're doing a great job. Technically, your modulation looks to be about 3 dB wide. I'm not saying 3 dB wide. I'm saying that the modulation is 3 dB dynamic range, which is nice. Means that your average percent of peak modulation is somewhere around 80 to 85%. So it's that part of it is great. Now you could technically, on the EQ curve, you could stand a little more brightening. You're fairly kind of dull sound, and maybe a little more top end EQ, about 3 clicks boost. Treble EQ will put a little more life in your audio and a little more intelligibility. Roger, Roger.
Roger that. Let me see if I can figure out how to get to that menu. Just a second here.
Roger, Roger. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. We're talking to Dick, Nancy Adam 3 Papa, who's running a 705 in Virginia, and he's looking for his EQ page to be able to crank in a little more treble EQ.
Okay, right now I'm at the maximum treble +5. I can't go any further. I think you may have advised me on that last time we talked over.
Oh, Roger. Check your bandpass. Are you running a 2900 bandpass, 100 to 2900 bandpass?
I'm running 200 to 2900 right now. Over.
Oh, you do have, but you are running 2900. That's a Roger?
That is a Roger. Over.
Yeah, usually because when you start... when you start shaving off the bottom, you also start shaving off the top. Do you have a 100 to 2900?
I do now. I just set the wide to 100 to 2900. Let me see if that's what I'm actually transmitting on right now. Over.
Yes, you are. I can hear the top end. You want to run in that mode. You want to, because you have a much better top end, Roger, Roger. Now we can take care of the bottom through EQ, Roger.
Roger, Roger. My bass is set at 0 right now. My TX bass 0, and I just switched my transmit bandwidth to 100 to 2900, which is what I think I'm transmitting on. But let me go figure out if I'm on that. Over.
Yes, you are. You're running 100 to 2900. Now, let's leave it at that bandpass, but on your EQ, let's take care of that bottom end. Let's do minus 2 clicks bass EQ from where you are. Minus 2 roll bass EQ from where you are. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Okay, I hit minus 2 clicks. I'm minus 2 on the bass now. Over.
Yes, sir. I think you're ideal now. You have a nice top end, and we've taken care of that bottom end through EQ. And I'm surprised that that radio would reflect that you could run 200 and still have the 2900 top end, because obviously when you went to 100 to 2900, your top end brightened up quite a bit. So you want to stay in that 100 to 2900 and keep that EQ curve that we just cranked in there to minimize the bass buildup. Roger?
Roger.
Roger. I have a bassy voice, so sometimes I do come through overly bassy. Over.
Roger. Well, you know, as long as you have plenty of HF content in the audio, a lot of, treble EQ in the top end, you can stand a lot of bass. Now, I've seen some folks, they're running flat across the board, and truly 100 to 2900, and I can see it on my my meter here, my spectrum analyzer. But the thing is, you have to be sure and keep that top end content all the time. You can't turn off from that microphone. You can't look away from that mic, because as soon as you lose the top end, that bottom end is there to make you sound muddy. So the only reason it sounds balanced is because you have a nice amount of top end to the mid-range versus the bass to the mid-range. It's all, it all relates to balance to the mid-range, top to the mid-range and the bottom to the mid-range. Roger.
Hey, Roger. And let's see. I know I set the. Okay, yeah, I'm on wide. I figured out. Once you set the parameters on that one page, there's another page where you actually activate it, and I am doing wide right now. I just verified that over.
Yes, it sounds really nice, a lot nicer than when we started. And if you want to hear the difference there, and I've got it, we've been recording, if you go to YouTube and do a call it a search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 6/4/21, that will take you directly to this recording, and they'll give us a couple of days to get it uploaded. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. I will do that. I've listened to my other QSOs that you get there. Thanks a lot for the help. I did a little bit of help. And I'm legitimately partially deaf. So I can't necessarily do it myself. I'm not really deaf, but I have a disability with the VA for hearing loss, so I can't really touch it up myself very well. Over.
Oh, yes, sir, I understand. And that is a challenge, I'm sure. And I think we've got you in good stead there. I'm looking at your other aspects of your audio, and you have a nice, like I say, 3 dB dynamic range. So that's exactly what we want. Now, my question is, are you running any compression? We usually suggest that you run a 3, compressor on and add a 3, processor on and add a 3. Roger.
On and add a 3, processor on and add a 3. Roger.
Yes, I'm running 3. As you advised last time, 3 out of 10 over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just perfect. I was just I was curious how you could possibly do as well as you're doing without running that 3 on the compressor. But it looks good, man. I would get out the Gorilla Tape and taper down, because you're just perfect, Roger.
Get out the Gorilla Tape and taper down, because you're just perfect, Roger.
Yeah, these new radios are really nice. They got so many features. But anyway, a couple clips, not like here in this, not like the old radios. But anyway, well, thanks a lot. And we'll talk again. Have a great day. Man, I forgot your handle. Let me think here. I'm not going to guess. I've got it in my logbook. KC9VKV from NA3P.
Roger, Dick. Handle here is Jim, Juliet, India Mike. And if I might ask, how did you sustain your hearing loss?
It's really hard to say, but I was around jet noise for a long time. I was an F4 backseater, F4 Phantom fighter bombers around the flight line. And I was also a field artillery officer in the Army National Guard, the big booms. And probably some of it was done by myself, my hunting hobbies over the years. It's probably mainly jet noise. Over.
Roger. Did you ever investigate what the residual noise level around those jets was, like 130 decibels or so?
It was like 130
I actually did a study on it myself with some dB transducers, and I was testing how much noise was coming inside my ear cups of my helmet versus, because I suspected I was losing some hearing while I was in the military, and I did my own study on it, and at that time I determined that I was getting too much noise even with my helmet on, but I can't remember the number now. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, you might look around for a class action suit, sir, because there's a lot of, as I understand it, there was a lot of equipment that was designed for noise suppression, military noise suppression, and it did not work. So people were subjected to extremely high noise levels, even though they were wearing the protective gear because of the malfunctions. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. When I was working on my master's degree, one of my courses, I did a study on the hearing, on how much decibels were coming into the helmet to determine whether it was over time would cause hearing loss. And I determined it did actually during my study, but apparently there wasn't a whole lot of studies done on that subject. Anyway, that was when I was taking a class with, I'm trying to think what the class was. Human engineering, I think it was called. Human engineering, part of the systems management master's program at USC. Over.
Roger. Could you tell at the time, after, say, an incident where you were on the line there with those jets, that you did have some noise suppression effects after you came home? Could you tell that your hearing had been affected?
It's hard to say. Maybe a little bit. It probably dull your hearing a little bit, but not really that noticeable. But I have a little bit of that, what they call tinnitus too. My ears have been ringing for the past 30 years. So what can I say? Anyway. So much for being around jet noise. And back in the old days, you didn't necessarily do what you were supposed to do either when you're not actually in the airplane. Sometimes you neglected, let's say, to put your hearing protection on, which was a bad idea, but it wasn't heavily enforced in the old days. Over.
Oh, Roger that. Well, sorry for your loss, and gosh, I'm assuming it's been a number of years, so the possibility of it your hearing returning to normal is pretty much zero. Is that a Roger?
Returning to normal is pretty much zero. Is that a Roger?
Probably. Well, just recently I was diagnosed with official hearing loss, although I knew I was losing some. I just had my VA hearing test about 3 months ago, and they actually gave me 10% disability based on my hearing. But I just got to be careful now. I got to make sure, when I'm out mowing the grass or doing stuff like that, I got to put my earmuffs on and don't want to do any more damage. Over.
Roger. Now, how would a normal hearing aid, would that help boost the audio level up some?
Hearing aid, would that help boost the audio level up some?
Yes. They have hearing aids now that actually can be custom tailored to the range of the frequency that you've lost, and it would definitely help pick up some of the ranges that you've lost. Over.
Roger. Yes. Well, hopefully you'll be able to investigate that and maybe get your government folks to help pay the bill for some of that. Roger.
Yeah, they actually will do that. I haven't gone that far. yet, but they will actually pay for that now. I don't have to pay for that at all. So maybe down the road, you know, as you get older, things get worse, you know, but there may be a point where I finally decide to go ahead and do it over.
Yes, sir. Well, I wish you luck on that, sir, and really appreciate you dropping by this afternoon. And like I say, I think your radio is just spot on now, so just remember to work that microphone exactly the way you're working it now. Don't pull left, right, up or down. Just hang right there and continue to work that mic just as you are. Roger?
Roger. Well, I'm doing exactly what you told me last time, talking across the microphone, not directly into it. And I've got windscreens on my other mics like you advised, so we're doing pretty good over here, over.
Oh, yeah, sounds just beautiful. Sounds just beautiful, Dick. Well, 73, sir, and you have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend, Roger.
73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger.
Okay, you too, Jim, and I'll talk to you later. Have a great weekend. KC9VKV from NA3P.
Roger. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. This is a recording that we make every Friday afternoon between 3:30 and 5, and then post it up on YouTube. And then the way to find that is you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 6/4/21, and that will take you directly to this recording. Now, if you just did a KC9VKV search on YouTube, that would take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where right now we're featuring over 1,650 some odd QSO-VLOG recordings. This is KC9VKV. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
India Kilo November.
There's an India something November. Come back slowly with your call sign phonetically.
India something November. Come back to slowly with your call sign phonetically.
Roger. This is Whiskey 2, India Kilo November.
India Kilo November, Roger. And what's the name there, please?
India Kilo November, Roger. And what's the name there, please?
The name is Bob Bravo Oscar Bravo.
Roger, Bob. And where are you located, sir?
Roger, Bob. And where are you located, sir?
Okay, I'm in Oak Ridge, North Carolina, November Charlie. Go ahead.
Roger. And what radio are you running, Bob?
Roger. What radio are you running, Bob?
I'm running an ICOM IC7000.
Roger, on the 7000. And would you be interested in our setup procedure?
Roger, on the 7000. And would you be interested in our setup procedure?
Yeah, okay. I haven't had any I think I might have set it up a long time ago. But, yeah, go ahead.
Roger, well, we'll just check it out there. First is your processor on and add a 3. The compressor on and add a 3. It's a token amount, but it does exactly what we need it to do, Roger.
It's a token amount, but it does exactly what we need it to do.
Okay, let me check. Yes, it is on, and it is at a 3. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Okay, then let's move to our ALC. Sorry, I had a mental block there. Let's move to the ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust the mic gain until your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC by way of mic gain manipulation.
Scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain manipulation.
Okay. It's been a long time since I did this. The mic gain is at 90% now. Go ahead.
Roger. Yeah, not really interested in the mic gain per se, only how the mic gain affects your ALC, Roger.
Affects your ALC, Roger.
the ALC is not changing at all on the meter.
Okay, and let's see here. All right, I tell you what is the meter reading at the moment?
What is the meter reading at the moment?
I see ALC and it's a long red line. Let me get into that menu. I haven't done this in a while. I really don't know how to get into that menu. Go ahead.
Roger. Okay, a note to self. Note to self. When you find out how to gain access to your ALC, you want to bring up the ALC meter, and then where you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust the ALC so it reads between mid-scale and 2/3 by way of adjusting your mic gain control. Your mic gain will adjust the ALC to a mid-scale to 2/3 position. Roger?
Go to 2/3 position. Roger?
Yeah, okay. I really have no idea. There's a million menus on this, and I haven't done that in quite a while. Let me go through another one here. Memory, ATC, split. I can't find the menu offhand. Oh, wait, let me do something else. Wait a second.
Yeah, Bob, you got a copy?
QS.
Bob, you got a copy?
Chorus power, mic gain.
Bob, you still there? You got a copy?
I really can't find it. Go ahead.
Bob, you still there? You got a copy?
Roger, I was just trying to get a hold of you, Bob. Don't worry about it. Just take a note. Take a note to self that when you find out how to get to your ALC, you want to adjust the ALC to read mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control. Just jot a note to yourself. Don't worry about doing it right now, but when you find out how to get to the ALC, you want to adjust that mic gain to where it's reading mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC meter. Roger?
It's reading mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC meter. Roger?
Oh, okay, very good. By the way, what is your name and where are you located? Go ahead.
Yes, sir, Bob. This is Jim Juliet India Mike, and we are located just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger?
Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville. Roger?
Oh, okay. I just wanted to get the state, the name of the state, Indiana. Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm replacing this in a few days. I'm getting a 7300. It's in the mail now, so that'll be coming next week. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. You'll love that 7300. And one other point that you might want to crank in on that radio is a little more top-end EQ. Another note to self about EQ, you want to go about 3 clicks hotter treble EQ than where you are. So it would be 3 clicks boost treble EQ from where you are on a note to self. Roger?
From where you are on a note to self. Roger?
Okay, I don't remember a menu for EQ. 3 clicks. Okay, I'll have to remember that.
Roger. Well, that's when we do notes to help us remember, because I go into a room and try to figure out why I'm there, But hopefully if you make notes, then when the opportunity comes along, and you can crank in and work on those notes. And like I say, if you get a chance, join us next Friday if you get that 7300 in, and we'll set that up. That's a beautiful radio. It sets up real easy.
Set that up. That's a beautiful radio.
Okay, Jim. Well, thank you very much. Yes, I'm getting it. I just got a call this morning, so it'll probably be in next week sometime. Okay, well, thank you very much, Jim. Go ahead, WIKN.
Roger, Roger, Bob. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. And if you want to hear this recording, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 6/4/21, that will take you directly to this recording. Give us a couple of days to get it uploaded, Roger.
To this recording, give us a couple of days to get it uploaded, Roger.
Okay, very good. I wrote that down. Thank you very much, Jim. I certainly appreciate it. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger. And your signal is 10 over the noise level of the Milford SDR. So that's a good signal on Milford SDR, 10 over their noise level. So 73, sir, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
It's KB3VAV. Do you have a copy?
It's a KB3. Come back slowly phonetically with the call sign again.
It's a KB3. Come back slowly phonetically with the call sign.
Yes, Kilo Bravo 3, Delta, Alpha, Victor.
Delta what, Victor?
Delta what, Victor?
Kilo Bravo 3, Delta, Alpha, Victor.
Delta Alpha Victor. Roger, and what's the name there, sir?
Delta Alpha Victor. Roger, and what name there, sir?
Kilo Echo November, Ken.
Roger, Ken, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Ken, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Yes, I'm located about 35 miles south of Pittsburgh in a town called Washington, Pennsylvania.
Roger that, and what radio are you running, sir?
Roger that, and what radio are you running, sir?
Yes, I'm running a Yaesu FT991A, and I have a Gap Titan DX vertical antenna.
Roger, sir, and would you be interested in our setup procedure for that radio?
Roger, sir, and would you be interested in our setup procedure for that radio?
Would I be interested in a what now? I do wear hearing aids, so I'd appreciate if you'd speak a little slower so that I don't miss half of what you're saying.
Yes, sir. We're talking about a transmitter setup. That's one of the things we do. If you would be interested, we usually convert like a normal transmitter is a 10 dB dynamic range, average 30% modulation radio. We convert that through our setup procedure to a 3 dB dynamic range, 80 to 85% average peak modulation. So it's quite a bit a better setup. It helps you cut through QRM and noise and all that stuff with a little higher audio level, Roger.
Noise and all that stuff with a little higher audio level, Roger.
Oh, I see. And how do we go about this? How do we have to purchase that or what?
No, it starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3. Turn that compressor on and adjust it for a 3. That is the beginning of our setup procedure. It's a token amount on the compressor. You'll never hear it on the air, but it does exactly what we need it to do, Roger.
Air, but it does exactly what we need it to do, Roger.
So am I going to have to, what do I do with it? I mean, I don't understand. I'm relatively new in high frequency, and I was a tech for a good number of years, but then I was only on the air for maybe 3 or 4, and then I got out of it for a good while, and then I'm again, and I sit at the current details, and I've got an Amatron 811H, and I've got all this other additional stuff in conjunction with the 270 centimeter radio.
Roger that. Well, this is just a painless procedure. There's about 3 things we do. One is, again, that compressor on at a 3. And once we get that on, then we'll move to your ALC meter. So if you have your compressor on and at a 3, we will move to your ALC meter. Roger.
And at a 3, we will move to your ALC meter. Roger.
I'm not exactly sure how I turn the compressor on and put it on a 3. I'm not exactly sure how to do that.
Yes, sir. Okay, let me give you notes. I'll give you some notes to use when you find out where everything is at your time frame, so you don't have to worry about trying to do it now, as we speak. So the first note for the setup is to find your compressor and turn it on and adjust it for a 3. Compressor on at a 3. That's the first procedure. So you're making notes, Roger?
That's the first procedure. So you're making notes, Roger?
Okay, hold on just a second. I have to put something to write on.
This is KC9VKV. And right now we got Ken on the line, and he's searching for a writing utensil to take some notes with.
A writing utensil to take some notes.
Okay, I didn't quite get your name or anything like that. Your call and where you're located and stuff. I'd like to have that as well there. But go ahead with your notes, and then afterwards we'll get this other info from my logbook.
Roger. Okay, so the first note to self is to engage your compressor at a 3. Turn the compressor on and adjust it for a 3. Is that a Roger on that note?
Adjust it for a 3. Is that a Roger on that note?
Yeah, QSO.
Okay, then after you get your compressor on at a 3, you move to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, you adjust the mic gain control until your ALC meter is reading mid-scale to 2/3. So again, after we get the compressor on at a 3, we move to our ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and as we speak fairly rapidly, we adjust the ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 operation by, again, mic gain manipulation. Roger?
Okay, now I got first note, but the second note I didn't quite understand because you were speaking too rapidly.
Okay, Ken, we are going to set up the ALC meter. So when you find out where your ALC meter is, then you will bring it up, and as you speak fairly rapidly, and you do this because you want to be able to see what the meter is showing you, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fairly rapidly, because if you don't speak fairly rapidly, the meter is not going to hang up there, and you're not going to be able to see what it is actually doing. So that's why you speak a little rapidly when you set your ALC reading. But that's in transmit. So you're transmitting and you're looking at your ALC meter, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, you adjust your mic gain control to where your ALC meter is reading 50 is reading mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC by way of mic gain manipulation. Roger?
By way of mic gain manipulation. Roger?
Okay, now, when you use the ALC meter, and I guess I would have to go to what, the F and M list or the menu setup in order to access this?
You'll have to read your book. You will have to read your book about the ALC meter. There should be a section about how to, how to bring the ALC meter up, And what we're advising is that you, with mic gain in hand, you bring up your ALC and adjust the ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 reflection. Roger?
For mid-scale to 2/3 reflection. Roger.
Okay, QSL on that there. Okay, what's the other note?
Well, then it would be into your EQ curve, and it would be on your EQ menu, your equalization menu. We want to crank in 3 clicks treble boost from where you are. So you would find out how to get to your EQ page on your radio in the menu, and we want you to boost your treble EQ by 3 clicks from where you are. 3 clicks additional treble EQ boost from wherever you are on the treble control. Roger?
Boost from wherever you are on the treble control.
Okay, so I have to go to treble control. That's the third step, and adjust it 3 clicks from where it stands at the present time, correct?
Roger, your treble boost. You want a treble boost 3 clicks hotter than where you are. So you would go to your EQ capabilities, your EQ menu, and advance the treble part of the EQ 3 clicks hotter than where it is.
Treble part of the EQ 3 clicks hotter than where it is.
Okay, so I just go to menu on my radio and just scroll down until I come down to that treble boost, and then adjust the 3 clicks from where it currently is now, and that should take care of it.
Yes, sir. Now you want to be sure that that's the transmit EQ. You may have equalization for your receiver. We're not interested in that. We're just interested in your single sideband transmit EQ boost on the treble side. Roger?
Transmit EQ boost on the treble side. Roger.
Okay, hold on just a second here. Sit in the single sideband transmit. Okay, what was that? Single sideband transmit.
Roger, Ken. It's nothing that you want to do right now. Just another note to self. It's another note to self about the EQ. Advancing the treble EQ 3 clicks hotter than what it is. And again, you consult your book for that. Transmit, single sideband transmit, treble boost. Roger?
Single sideband transmit, treble boost. Roger.
Also, I would like on your again, I would appreciate if you would speak slowly when you're giving it all your info.
Roger, Ken, I think we're about done. I think you have all the information, and I wish you luck. And again, you will consult your owner's manual or your operator's manual to find those positions, and we have given you the adjustments for those. So let me say 73, sir. You have a great afternoon. Roger?
73, sir. You have a great afternoon. Roger.
Okay, very good. I appreciate the contact, and I appreciate the information that you gave me. And I would like your call sign, your name, and your current location, please.
Roger, Ken. This is Jim, Juliet, India, Mary, and I am located just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. Just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky, on the Indiana side of the Ohio River. And the call is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo, Victor.
Victor, Kilo, Victor.
Okay, I didn't get the first letter, but I did get Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, but I didn't receive the first letter.
Yes, sir. Let me give it to you again. Kilo, Charlie, 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor. Again. Kilo, Charlie, 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor.
Victor, Kilo,
QSL. Okay, Jim, I appreciate that. And you're on the Indiana side from the Ohio River and from Louisville, Kentucky, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Absolutely.
Okay, I really appreciate all the info that you gave me. I appreciate the contact, and it's a pleasure making your acquaintance. And you have a blessed afternoon, what's left of it, and we'll say 73. And this KC9 VKV, KB3 DAV will be signing off, and I appreciate the information.
Roger, Ken, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG station. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
I believe there was a Kilo Alpha station. If there was a Kilo Alpha station, come back slowly phonetically with the call sign, please.
Come back slowly phonetically with the call sign, please.
Kilo Alpha 3 Yankee India Alpha.
Yankee India Alpha, Roger, Roger. What's the name there, sir?
Yankee India Alpha, Roger, Roger. What's the name there, sir?
Jim, the name here is Delta Oscar November.
One more time on the name, please.
One more time on the name, please.
Would it be Ron, Roger, Oscar, November? Is that correct?
Ron, Roger, Oscar, November. Is that correct?
Don, Delta, Oscar, November.
That'd be Don, Delta, Oscar, November, Roger.
Don, Delta, Oscar, November, Roger.
Roger, 5x5 into Centerville, Georgia, 50 miles northeast of Atlanta.
Roger, Don. Okay, why don't you give me about 10 seconds on your your antenna, and let me see if I can find a better path for us. I'm copying you now through Milford, PA, SDR, but give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and I'll see if I can find a better path.
Tell me about your antenna system, and I'll see if I can find a better path.
This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon, QSO-VLOG net. Don, do you still copy me?
Challenger DX. Do you still copy me? Roger, it's the running the vertical antenna. Challenger DX.
Roger, I guess Milford is probably going to be it. I thought I've got an SDR down in Atlanta. I thought I might be able to copy you just a little bit better on that one, Roger.
Atlanta, I thought I might be able to copy you just a little bit better on that one, Roger. Roger.
but apparently not. So, Don, what radio are you running this afternoon?
Don, what radio are you running this afternoon?
I'm running a full 10-tech Omni Model C. Not too fancy and not too many controls.
Roger, Roger. Okay, would you be interested in our setup procedure?
Roger. Okay, would you be interested in our setup procedure?
Yes, sir.
We'll try it, and we'll just see how much that Omni C has to be able to help us along the way with our setup procedure. It begins with you engaging your compressor at a 3. Does the Omni C have a compressor, and can you turn it on and adjust it for a 3 level? Roger?
And adjust it for a 3 level. Roger?
Does not have a compressor.
And again, I didn't copy that first. Did you say it does have a compressor?
And again, I didn't copy that first. Did you say it does have a compressor?
Negative on the compressor.
Okay, negative on the compressor. Well, okay, then we can move along here. Does it have an ALC meter for adjusting your volume? ALC reference, Roger?
Your volume? ALC reference, Roger?
It's an ALC light. It has an ALC full for 10-tech. Turn it all with clockwise to the right. And it just drives the LC light to the line.
Okay, so that is an older radio. Is that a Roger? Yeah, Roger, Don. Okay, check your frequency. Now, this is, it sounds to me like you might be slightly off frequency. Very slightly, not much, but just slightly. So check your frequency. You want to be on 7188.0000, and also check to be sure that your clarifier is off. Double check to be sure that your clarifier is off and that you're on 7188.00.
You're on 7188.00.
On 7188.
What was the frequency you're on? 7188, is that a Roger?
What was the frequency you're on? 7188, is that a Roger? That's a Roger.
All right, it sounds better now. It just sounded like it might have been slightly off frequency, but it does sound better now. Obviously, I don't have the best copy on you in the world. I'm going through the Milford SDR receiver, and they're having a lightning storm up there, so it's it's one of those days where, gosh, what else could happen, Roger?
Yeah, it was one of those days where, gosh, what else could happen, Roger?
I got you there. Again, it's been a real pleasure talking to you, and I was listening in. Going to be hunting for some more. KC9 Victor Victor K83YIN.
Roger, Don, thank you so much, sir, and let me say 73 of that way. If you get a chance, maybe you check in next Friday. Maybe we have less volatile conditions, and I can hear you a little cleaner, and we can, make some progress maybe on the EQ. But right now, there's too much noise in there to even think about what's happening on the EQ. And I don't mean necessarily electronic EQ. There's a lot of ways to achieve EQ balance other than strictly electronically. A lot of it has to do with the way that you adjust the microphone. There are tricks to be able to shift EQ patterns by just the way that your proximity to microphone. So maybe we could investigate some of those next week if we have a better propagation. So 73 Don, and you have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey Delta 4 Echo Romeo Mike.
Whiskey Delta 4, come back with the call sign slowly, phonetically.
Phonetically? Whiskey Delta 4 Echo Romeo Mike.
Well, I tell you what there, Whiskey Delta 4. I was copying you on the Milford SDR, and they keep kicking me off. You know, the thing is about that, they have some rules, I guess, about if I had a password. Oh, if I had a password for Milford, I wouldn't have to worry about all this stuff. I wouldn't have any problems. But if you don't have a password, then you've got, if you don't do something in 20 minutes, they kick you off. If you do something in half an hour, they kick you off. So they just more or less just kick you off, and I'm constantly fighting. It's like a one-armed paper hanger here. I don't know if you've seen the video or not, but I'm just constantly reacquiring in the Milford PA SDR. But on the other hand, the Milford PA SDR is one of the most exceptional SDRs that I know of, and it's my main go-to. So I can't give them too hard a time. They'll shut me off forever. Well, anyway. So anyway, Whiskey Delta 4 station, I have reacquired the Milford PA SDR. If you would, please, give me your call sign slowly, phonetically again.
Give me your call sign slowly, phonetically again. Okay, it's Whiskey Delta 4 Echo Romeo Mike. Echo Romeo Mike, over.
Roger, Echo Romeo Mike, and what is the name, sir?
Roger, Echo Romeo Mike, and what is the name, sir? Name is Ken, Kilo Echo November, and I'm located in extreme south central Georgia, right on the Georgia-Florida border, over.
Yes, sir, Ken, and what radio are you running, sir?
Yes, sir, Ken, and what radio are you running, sir? This is also an older radio. It's the Yaesu FT1000D, FT1000 Delta.
1000 Delta, Roger, Roger. Now, does that have a compressor in it?
It does.
Okay, part of our setup procedure starts with you engaging your compressor at a 3. Turn that compressor on and adjust it for a 3. It's a token amount, and you'll never hear it on the air. You'll never hear it working on the air, but it does exactly what we needed to do. So the beginning of our setup process is the compressor on and add a 3.
Process is the compressor on and add a 3. Okay, the compressor is on. It's hard to tell. These marks are not numbered, but I would expect maybe the 3 might be in the 9 o'clock position.
Frequencies in use? Roger. Well, it would probably be about 10 o'clock, 10:30 position on the pointer there if you don't have numbers. Roger?
Position on the pointer there if you don't have numbers. Roger? Okay, that's about where we are now then. About, just a little past what would be 10, over.
Yes, sir, that's it. Now, does it have an ALC meter? Does it have an ALC reference?
Have an ALC meter. Does it have an ALC reference?
I have an ALC. Just a second. Let me switch ALC on. Okay.
Alrighty, so now that we have our ALC meter on, what we're going to do is hit transmit, speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, with mic gain in hand, and adjust your ALC to where it's reading mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC meter by way of mic gain manipulation. Roger?
Thirds on the ALC meter by way of mic gain manipulation. Roger. Okay, where do I need the meter to read? Just that the ALC has a green area, and then it turns just no color. And right now, it's on the peaks. It's going to the maximum on the green level. Over.
Roger. Okay, pull it down just a little bit. What's your mic gain control setting right now?
What's your mic gain control setting right now? It's about 11 o'clock.
All right, make that mic gain control at 10 o'clock and let me hear you.
All right, make that mic gain control at 10 o'clock and let me hear you. Okay, we're back down just a little bit to 10. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sounds good, sounds good. Okay, now we move to our equalization page. Do you know how to get to your equalization page on that radio?
The 1000D was out before all of that came into being. The only adjustment on this is the mic gain and the processor. Over.
I see. Okay, well, what we can do is about how close are you working that microphone?
About how close are you working that microphone? Oh, it's probably about maybe 3 inches away, I guess, something like that.
All right, let's try it at about 4 to 5 inches away. Pull back about 5 inches, and let me hear you at 5 inches.
Back about 5 inches, and let me hear you at 5 inches. Okay, this is about 5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, now take your mic gain to about noontime. Your mic gain up to about noontime, and let's do that again at about 5 inches, and let me hear you.
Again at about 5 inches, and let me hear you. WD4, ERM, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
I think that sounds better. What we're trying to do is get a little more top-end articulation, and without EQ, we have to resort to inverse proximity effect. Proximity effect says that the closer you work a microphone, the bassier it will sound. You will have bass buildup as you come closer to that microphone. So we put that in reverse, and we move you back away about 5 inches, and that way we change the EQ pattern with less bottom and more top. Roger?
We change the EQ pattern with less bottom and more top. Roger? Okay, I understand. And ALC is still staying within the limits. It's not running over.
No, Roger. And do you can see clearly the ALC, and then at the end of the ALC, does it have a red light, like an overmod light, or any over indication at the end of the ALC indicator?
Indication at the end of the ALC indicator? No, it just the ALC has a green area that goes just past the 12 o'clock position. And then the rest of the line is just a white line. So I'm assuming that the green area is where you want to stay and not go beyond that. But it does not have a red light.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we want to go mid-scale to 2/3, and it's important though that you do that 2/3 because the actual sweet spot is halfway between mid-scale and 2/3. So you have to be just a little bit more than mid-scale. Roger.
Well, yeah, it is. It's more than mid-scale. I'd say it's probably where you would want it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It looks good on the meter there, and well, what we're looking for is a 3 dB dynamic range on your audio. Unprocessed audio runs 10 dB. So what we want to do is close that audio down, fatten it up to about 3 dB. Now, when you get past 3 dB, when you keep on fattening it up, it starts to blur. When you get to like a 2 dB dynamic range or a dB and a half, that's too much, and the words start to run together. Words have to have life. And I have found that about 3 dB dynamic range is a nice compromise between a fatter signal and too fat. Roger, Roger.
A fatter signal and too fat. Roger, Roger.
Okay. I'm not sure what I'm looking for.
I think you got it, sir. I think you're looking for the Gorilla Tape to taper down, because I think you've got everything running just perfect.
To taper down, because I think you've got everything running just perfect.
All right. Listen, I appreciate this. You're doing a good job. Thanks a lot. Now, what's the name up there?
Name here is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike. Call again is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. We're located just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River right at Louisville. And we have been recording since 3:30. So if you would like to hear your radio and our setup, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 6/4/21, that will take you directly to this recording. And give us a couple of days to get it uploaded to YouTube, Roger.
And give us a couple of days to get it uploaded to YouTube, Roger.
All right, Jim, we'll do that. Are you not able to copy me direct? You got a great signal down here in Georgia.
Give me 10 seconds, sir. Give me 5 seconds on something, and let me listen to my local antenna.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, give me 10 seconds on your antenna. Tell me about your antenna in 10 seconds.
Oh, okay, all right. The antenna is a modified the antenna is a modified the similarity of the delta loop ends. But that's where the similarity of the delta loop ends. It does have a modification to it, but it is up 80 feet, hung vertical, over.
Roger. I can copy on my local antenna, but Milford is a lot cleaner. And FYI, we are running right at KW, so let me drop down and I'll show you what 100 watts sounds like. We're down to 100 watts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, that's 100. And we're back to the KW, Roger.
2, 1, that's 100. And we're back to the KW, Roger.
Okay, you're running a solid S7 with the power. When you drop down, it was almost down to a 5. So a little over, just a little over 5, and then up to a 7, over.
Yes, sir, but that what is your average noise level? Is it like a 4, 3, or 4?
Is your average noise level, is it like a 4, 3, or 4?
You hit it. You must be looking at my meter exactly halfway between 3 and 4.
Yes, sir. That's why we run a kilowatt, to try to get over the noise and stay over the noise, even when propagation has ebbs and flows, so we can control the net. Roger.
Flows, so we can control the net. Roger.
All right. Well, seem to be doing fine. Well, listen, thanks. There may be some other guys that want to get checked out, so I appreciate the help. And have a good weekend up there. This is WD4 ERM.
Roger, Ken 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. And gosh, it's 5 after 5, and we have turned into a pumpkin. We turned into a pumpkin at 5 o'clock and have to pull the plug. We've been recording live since 3:30. If you participated and want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the date 6/4/21, that will take you directly to this recording. So 73 for now, and we will be back next Friday, all things being equal, and the creeks don't rise. This is a KC9VKV returning the frequency to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV clear.